What is going on in this? What's going on? This is Nate the Great coming to you live from the All Sports All Plays Network. This is Monday. This is Monday at Sports Corner. Greg, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, Nate. How you doing? It's beautiful out here, but I heard it's raining down there in Texas.
Oh gosh, it's raining. It's thundering, lightning. It's dark. I'm sorry, I don't mean to make it a horror, scary show. It's a sports show. Although the Bucks and the Pirates probably had some horrific games earlier today, where the Bucks lost to the San Antonio Spurs, 144 to 126. And then the Cincinnati Reds, they beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 14-1. Both high-scoring games that, I mean, I'm sorry, but if I asked you this, if you asked me this question, did I expect these high-scoring from both those teams? I would have told you no. Would you agree?
You cut out a little bit, Nate. What was the question?
So for the Bucks and Spurs game earlier today, and the San Antonio and the Cincinnati Reds versus Pittsburgh Pirates, with the high-scoring games that they had, would you expect it to be that high?
No, I really wasn't. I mean, I definitely, the Pirates definitely performed about kind of how we thought that they might, because they didn't really do much today. But the Reds, they're one of those hard teams to understand, because they put up a lot of runs this year, and for a while they were doing pretty good in the run differential, because, I mean, they were putting up 12, 13 runs for a few games in a row at times. And but yeah, the way that they've been playing lately, I wouldn't have expected 14 runs, but yeah, they got some big hits. They got 15 hits today. Suarez hit a bomb. They had a couple more bombs hit today, so they just preyed on the Pittsburgh pitching. And when you're talking about the Bucks and the Spurs, especially the Spurs, that's not a team that you're thinking, if you're a sports bettor or anything like that, that's not a team that you're thinking is gonna, put on an offensive show. So, yeah, that is kind of surprising. But I think last week we saw
I
a
feel
game.
bad for the people that took the under.
Didn't the Nets and the Wizards or something like that score like 300 and something points between them a week ago or so?
Oh, it was Pacers and Wizards, 145 to 144.
Yeah, I was looking at the sports lines, and the over under was like 270 points or something like that.
Yeah, but that one. See, that one didn't surprise me, though. I say that because Wizards are a terribly defensive team.
Yeah.
So allowing them to score that high and allowing the Pacers to score that high, that didn't surprise
me. Yeah. I'll tell you, I feel bad for Washington Wizards, and Russell Westbrook. I mean, Russell Westbrook, I think he just had the most triple-doubles, tied for the most triple-doubles all time in an NBA career, and he's still going strong. But, they need more than just two players over there. I mean, he's doing everything he can, but, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go as soon as I update the score real quick. We're going to go actually talk a little bit about the as the series is coming to a close, we're about to talk a little bit about the playoff picture. We'll start with NHL first. As we know, I'm about to pull it off real quick. StreamYard, share screen. Sorry, I'm pulling this up real quick. There. All right, so talk a little bit about the North Division. I mean, teams we know that are going to make it. Canadians, Jets, Oilers, Maple Leafs. Oilers and Maple Leafs, we know they are going to sit at the number 1 and number 2 seed. Now it's looking like the Canadians are probably going to be the team that Maple Leafs face in the first round. Now I know this was not updated because this was updated at 11. No, I take that back. 11 p.m. Who do you have if they were facing, which they probably are? Who do you have taking it?
The last playoff spot?
No, the Maple Leafs and Canadians game.
Oh, the Maple Leafs and Canadians game?
Yeah.
You know that I've been riding high for a long time with the Maple Leafs and talking about how I thought they were really solid this year and were going to go places. But I think that with so much on the line, because the Maple Leafs already have a spot, and we still have 3 teams in this division outside of the Senators looking to get in with the Canadians and the Canucks and the Flames. So I think that the Canadians probably have a little bit more of a chip on their shoulder. I know that they've got a pretty good edge right now on points, but I think that they're going to probably pull off some key victories just to make sure that they hold on to that 4th and final playoff spot.
No. The Flames, Senators, and Canucks, they're out.
They're out. I thought that they were still in as of.
No, they weren't.
Oh. Okay, I thought that there was still one spot up for grabs within that division. But regardless, I think that the Canadians are going to pull off the win between those two.
Yeah, I with the Canadians against the Maple Leafs. So first round is I think it's going to be, is it 7-game, best of 7? First you get
did the Flames and the Canucks just get eliminated like yesterday or today?
Today, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's best of 7 the first round. So if it's best of 7 the first round, I'm taking this. I think it's going to go to 6. I think it's going to be 4 games to 2 in favor of the Maple Leafs.
So you're asking me who would win out of a 7-game series between the Leafs and the Canadians, or just in one single game? Oh,
if it was a 7-game series, which I think
it is. If it
was
a 7-game series, I think that the Maple Leafs would probably win in about 5 games.
I would say I would go 6, but yeah, 5 would be the same way. Now, what about Oilers and Jets?
I think that the Oilers would probably, in a 7-game series, I think that they could probably outlast the Jets. But I think that this is a series that could go the full 7. But I do think that the Oilers are a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm going the same way. Now, going in and talking about the next division, the Eastern Division, which there's nothing playoff related that, the seeds that are in are the seeds that are in. I mean, Penguins are going to be the first seed, Capitals are going to be second, Boston Bruins are going to be third, Islanders are going to be the fourth. Now, I gave a hot take, and I said that back when we had What the Puck, I gave a hot take. I said the Islanders were going to play the Colorado Avalanche in the Stanley Cup Finals, but then I figured out that if they play each other in the playoffs, it won't be the finals. It would be the semifinals before heading in. So I don't think the Islanders are going to make it all the way, but I'm going to give a hot take, and I think that this Islanders are going to do what they normally do, and that's make it past the first round, pull an upset. Islanders in 5.
So you think they're going to edge out the Penguins?
Yeah. Penguins get one game, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's game 1, but Penguins get one game.
Yeah, I really like the move that my Islanders made, at the trade deadline to pick up a little bit more offensive help. And, and they're pretty solid on defense. I know they've been sliding a little bit, but I think come playoff time, they're gonna get something together. But I think the team to really watch out for in this division, because they made some massive moves and they've been playing extremely good hockey as of late, and that's the Bruins. I wouldn't take anything for granted with the Bruins. They've really been coming on pretty strong after they picked up Hall.
Now I know I'm getting off topic real quick, but currently the Diamondbacks are up 5-0 over the Miami Marlins. Do you see that one being a no-hitter?
Oh man, it wouldn't surprise me. No hitters have been becoming a thing in Major League Baseball. We were just talking about it on Thursday if they were going to set the record for no hitters. It wouldn't surprise me at all if this thing becomes a no hitter. We just had a no hitter the other day. I think we're up to 4 or 5 now in Major League Baseball. So
5 if you're counting that game against the Diamondbacks against the Atlanta Braves.
I wish I could count that game that Bumgarner pitched against the Braves, because they changed the rules. And if they want to go by these rules, then they got to go with it. I know that it wasn't a 9-inning game, but that's what they put into play. So I would love to recognize that game as a no-hitter. But yeah, I could definitely see something like that. It's a pretty pitching-dominated league right now, and pitchers just seem to have a huge advantage. The batting average, I think, is only like 4 or 5 points. I think it's like 4 or 5 points lower than it was in the 60s when Bob Gibson was pitching, and they had the lower of the mound because the pitchers were just so dominant. So they had to change the rules a little bit back then. So I don't know what's going on, but yeah, they're just not hitting the baseball very well.
I think this has to do, and I know I'm stealing Felix's take, but he's the one that pitched it out to me. No pun intended. He's the one that pitched it out to me, and I really think that when we get summertime arrives, I think we're gonna see more batters do their thing. We're gonna see. I know we see no hitters now, but when summertime arrives, I think we're gonna have more of these high scoring games like the Angels and Dodgers the other day.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
playoffs are going to hit, and then when playoffs hit, I seriously see the record being broken. Maybe 9 games, but I seriously see the record being broken.
I can see it happening, definitely. You're just seeing a lot of fantastic pitching performances this season, or maybe it's just a lack of hitting. I think the hitting will eventually come around, but I don't know. I don't know if a lot of hitters are just going up there with an all or nothing approach or what. But yeah, they're not putting the ball into play as well as they should be at this level. So. But yeah, I definitely foresee, if not this game, 3 or 4 more no hitters this season.
Yeah. Just updating a score real quick. So to move to move on, let's talk about the Capitals and Bruins. Um, Realistically speaking, I don't see Boston making it out of the first round. I think it's going to be Capitals. Uh, I'm I'm calling it Capitals 4-3. Where do you see this going?
Yeah, I can see the Capitals winning this thing. I'm just trying to let everybody know that the Bruins are a very capable hockey team. You know, they've added some
True.
pieces late in the game, and I wouldn't count them out. This is a very strong division. All the way down from the Penguins to the Islanders. So it's pretty good division, and I think that Ovechkin and company probably should be able to take care of the Bruins, but I wouldn't I wouldn't count them out at this point though, because the Bruins have been kind of they were hot and then they kind of went on a cold spell. Then they kind of got back into it again, and then they made some moves to get some better scoring, and beef up their line a little bit. So they made all the right moves, but so have the Islanders um, as well. You know, they made a couple key moves to get some scoring to replace Anders Lee. So yeah, I don't know. This is an exciting division. I'm looking forward to this playoff series between these guys.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Um, I think Capitals are going to take it. That
But I'll tell
series.
you, the West Division is going to be pretty exciting
Ooh,
too.
yeah. Next up is actually the Central Division. Um, Now Central, I think, is already been decided. Uh, Hurricanes are up top. Panthers number 2, Lightning number 3, and Predators at number 4. Um, Now, realistically speaking, talk a little bit about Hurricanes and Predators today. Now, I know Hurricanes. Let me look at it. I don't remember the score, but I know Hurricanes lost today to the Predators. Oh, it was 5-0. I don't see an upset going. I think we're really going to. I don't see a lot of games being very close. It might be close in, hey, who takes the win? Who takes the win to move on to the next series? But in each individual game, I don't see that being very close. I'm going Hurricanes. I'm going to go 4-2, but even the 2 games that the Predators win, I think are going to be blowouts.
Yeah, the Predators are one of the last teams to get in, to the playoff picture. And so I think they're right now just kind of riding high, happy to be there. And I do think that the Hurricanes will take care of business probably in 5 or 6 games in this series. The interesting matchup is going to be the Panthers and the Lightning, because we all know that the Lightning, um, they, the defending champs, they're going to be all over it, and they're still a pretty hot team, but the Panthers are also a very strong team. So, but I'm kind of going to give the edge to the Lightning out of that one. I think that one's probably going to go the distance. I just think that they're pretty well matched.
There's a lot of these teams that this is their last game. A lot of teams, not every single team has this. This is not their last game for every single team, but for a lot of these, it is. Um, Look at Dallas Stars. It's over for them. They're not playing another game. Um, I know. Looking at tomorrow, we have the Bruins. They play the Capitals. Canucks play the Jets, and then May 12th is where we're going to see the most coming down in the future. We have 5 games on May 12th, but then May 13th we're down to 3. May 14th we're down to 1, and then May 15th we're also down to 1. And then round 1 hits with the Bruins and Capitals on Saturday, May 15th. But there's probably going to be more than that. So scrolling down a little bit, and let's talk a little bit about Panthers and Lightning. And I know I have the score up there. Panthers beat the Lightning 4-0 today. I see the Florida Panthers. I don't think they're gonna put up the same performance as they did here. I think they're gonna get swept. I'm calling it now. Lightning are going to win 4-0.
Well, the Panthers did beat the Lightning 4-0. Yeah, the Lightning couldn't get anything going in any way today offensively. But, this is going to be a hard-fought match. This is, honestly, look at the points. 80, 79, 75. This is an extremely tough league to come out of. And, I know that our buddy Ray Cruz has to be excited for his Hurricanes, to get the top spot. And I think that they are going to move on. But, it's going to be exciting. I think that middle matchup between the Panthers and the Lightning is going to be must-see TV. I really do. I think it's going to be – I don't think we're going to see these 4-0, 3-0 games. I think that we're going to get a little bit more scoring and pretty good fast-paced play when it comes playoff time.
Now the last one that we got to last division that we got to talk about the West. Now, when it comes towards who's making the playoffs, that has already been decided. It's going to be the Golden Knights. They're going in. The Avalanche, they're going in. The Wild, they're going in. And the Blues are going in. Now, but when it comes to that top 3 seeds, we know Wild won't make the first spot. They probably won't make the second. Probably going to be number 3, but they still have a shot at number 2. I don't think they're going to, but they still have a shot. Who do you think is going to end up taking that number 1 seed first off? Let's go with that.
Oh, man. Well, if you're going by statistics, the Golden Knights have about a 70% chance. Avalanche just over 30% chance for the top spot. I'm telling you what, these are the 2 best, in my opinion, the 2 best teams in hockey within the same division. I have the Golden Knights probably in the number 1 spot right now, if I had to rank them, but the Avalanche are right there. And, I would love to see the Avalanche, that I'm big on your Avalanche. I'd like to see them edge out the Golden Knights, but I'll tell you what, I think that regardless of who ends up in the 1 or 2, I think that Vegas and Colorado are moving on regardless of where they stand. But I think I'm going to give the edge for the top spot to the Golden Knights. They just seem to be playing the best. I think that right now, as it stands, they're the best team in hockey. I don't want to say it. I want to say that the Avalanche are, but that's okay. I'm going to give it to the Golden Knights right now. They've earned it so far.
Yeah. The Golden Knights, realistically speaking, I think that they're going to be the ones to come out with this, much as I hate to say it. I think it's going to be a close, hard-fought battle in the second round between Golden Knights and Avalanche. The first round, I think Blues take 1 game, 4-1. In the first round between Avalanche and Wild, I think it's going to be 4-2. I think it's going to be a closer game, but I don't think it's going to be still going to favor Golden Knights and Avalanche.
Well, I know that on our What the Puck, when we had it up and going, I said that the Wild was a very surprising team to me, and I always was giving a shout out to Brandon Herrera that he had something to root for in Minnesota with the Wild, but I don't think that this is quite their year. They've got some excellent young prospects. They got pretty much the rookie of the year locked up with Kirill Kaprizov, and they got some really good young fast skaters. But I think that if the Avalanche gets a hold of them, it's going to be a 5 or 6 game series. And I think that the Avalanche, I just think that the Wild still a little bit too youthful and inexperienced really to handle the Avalanche. So I have the Golden Knights and the Avalanche both moving on, regardless of where they end up in the standings.
Now, the next game. Well, actually, that is the remaining of the NHL in terms of divisions and all that kind of stuff. Let's talk some NBA. Let's talk some basketball. So for the NBA, we're the number in the Western Conference, number 1 and number 2 seeds. It's pretty much determined at this point. I mean, I know it's actually some Suns are. I mean, the Jazz are probably going to take that number 1 seed. I can't see the Suns taking it by any stretch of the imagination. Now the Clippers and Nuggets, that their battle. We're currently sitting at Clippers at 3, Nuggets at 4. Clippers, I think that they might take the number 3 seed, and I think the Nuggets are going to take the number 4. Mavericks, Trailblazers. Now, Trailblazers, I'm going to go in a disagreement with some people, and I know statistically wise they don't have much of a shot, but I think the Trailblazers might take the reins over the Mavericks in this. Now,
yeah, it very well might happen. I'll tell you, we've got a pretty tight race going on. I think you're right about the Jazz. I think they're going to remain that top seed. I know that we've been talking about the Jazz in the past. Are they for real? Are they going to have what it takes to keep the momentum going? And they've showed, even with key injuries, that they're a team to be reckoned with. And I think that they are going to edge out the Suns. I think that the Suns right now are probably the most exciting team in basketball. They've got a perfect combination of really awesome young talent with Devin Booker. And then, of course, you got the veteran leadership of Chris Paul. And that makes for an interesting backcourt. And, the chemistry between those two from a guy that's been around the business for a long time and quite possibly one of the best point guards of all time, and going along with one of the more upstart players that we've seen, and he's still in his early 20s, and Devin Booker, I think the Suns are going to be the most exciting team to watch. I don't know if they're going to come out of the West, but they're an exciting team to watch. They got some young talent, and they got a good mixture of some veterans and some really young players on the rise.
so shout out to Freddie, huge Lakers fan. Just wanted to point out something though. He says that he's not worried about the Lakers at all. He thinks that they're going. I mean, Lakers are going to the playoffs. I can't argue with that, but he's not worried about the whole play-in seed kind of thing with LeBron and AD's injuries. Anyway, I just want to point one thing out. The Utah Jazz beat the Sacramento Kings 150, and they scored 154 points. You know who's not on that roster?
Oh,
Donovan Mitchell.
yeah.
Lakers lost without LeBron James and without Anthony Davis to the Sacramento Kings the next game. So, yeah, if I was a Lakers fan, which I'm not, I'm a Nuggets fan.
Well, then why did you have them on your background now, bud?
What? Oh, That's only because I lost a bet. That's only because I lost a bet.
Yeah.
Now, to talk about some of these other teams that are in, we're currently we have the Pelicans and the Kings. They're probably not going to make it. Now, Jay, he made a hot take and he said that I didn't agree with him. But he said that the Sacramento Kings are going to be the one that takes over that 10th seed. Because of their strength of schedule. This happened a couple of games back, to be fair, because of their strength of schedule. But then I said that, hey, I think that the Kings are only going to win 2 of those games. And I don't think they're going to take that spot, take that 10th seed.
If the Kings would have taken Luka Doncic like they were supposed to a few years ago, they wouldn't have to worry about the 10th seed. But I don't see the Kings getting in to that 10th seed. They're not playing bad basketball right now, but they just got off to a very lackluster start, and they're just now starting to put a few things together. So I think they're going to fall short. They're making some halfway decent moves over there, and they've got a lot of young pieces going on right now. One of the younger teams in all of basketball. But 1% chance to get into the 10 seed. I just don't see it happening. The Spurs. I think that they're pretty much going to have it locked down. They played some excellent basketball recently, found a way to put up a lot of points, like we were just talking about, 20 minutes ago. So I really don't see the Kings getting in there.
Excuse me. So that's all I wanted to talk about in the Western Conference. Anything else that you wanted to cover in the Western Conference?
I've been hearing a lot of chatter, about people that are kind of Lakers fans, and they kind of have this weird concept that, LeBron James and Anthony Davis getting hurt, not playing, the slide that they were on, they still have a lot of confidence. They think that the Lakers are still the team to beat and everything, but they went on that slide with all those key injuries to LeBron and Anthony Davis, and I don't really see that happening. It usually doesn't happen in sports when your franchise players get hurt and then they come back come playoff time. They usually don't have the chemistry and everything because they've missed so many games and they've lost so many games due to their franchise players being hurt. So I really don't see, and this is for you, Freddie, nothing against the Lakers, okay? I just don't see the Lakers really doing much damage, even with LeBron and Anthony Davis coming back. I just think that they're a little out of sync. I see more teams with more chemistry and playing better together right now. And I guess the only thing I have to say is I think if we were to keep an eye on one team out of the West, it would be the Suns. They have a great game, great backcourt. They've got some good, decent down low play. They play fast. They play good tempo. And Chris Paul, is putting up an MVP caliber season still, at like age 36. So, keep an eye on the Suns.
I have 2 more things to say, and that one is talking about you were talking about the Lakers here. Right now, if the Lakers I know that there's 7th seed. I know that they're the 7th seed, but if the Lakers were the 8th seed, they would go out, they would play Golden State, which that would probably be a loss. Well, okay, I take that back. whoever loses this Golden State and Lakers game, which probably will be the Lakers, would have to go out and face the winner of 9th and 10th. It wouldn't knock out that specific team. They would go out and they play the winner of 9th and 10th. The loser of 9th and 10th is automatically eliminated. But the winner of 9th and 10th would automatically go and up and play against the loser of 7th and 8th. The winner of that matchup would automatically be the 8th seed, and they would go up to play against Utah. Imagine if that was the Lakers. I wouldn't be surprised if they were dealing with so many injuries that I would give it a 4-1, maybe 2.
Yeah,
maybe 2.
I'm telling you, this Western Conference, the Lakers, it's going to be really tough. I know that LeBron James has said that he doesn't like the play-in games. I kind of like it. I kind of like this new play-in format. Instead of taking the top 8 seeds, you take the 7 through 10 and let them play and see who can get the final 2 spots. I kind of like it. It's kind of a survival of the fittest. And yeah, I think that the Lakers, I know they're kind of nervous about the playing games, but I mean, if they're the real deal, they shouldn't have an issue with it. But yeah, I think that the Warriors could cause a lot of problems for the Lakers.
Now I want to address over a point as we move over to the Eastern Conference. I just want to address one point about the Bucks. We talked about that game earlier, but I just moved over to the Western. Hold on. Okay, so the Bucks lost in a big blowout. Automatic. I think this is going to be easily the Sixers take that number 1 seed. Yeah, Nets and Bucks, they have a less than 1% chance. I can't see it happening. Now the real competition really in this division left, I can't name it. I think it's pretty much set in stone. Now, we talked a little bit about Pacers and Wizards earlier. Don't be surprised if that ends up being high scoring like the other day. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're talking about a couple teams that just, defense isn't part of their arsenal. You're talking about 2 teams that are pretty weak overall defensively. I could maybe expect some high scoring from the Wizards because they got Beal and they got Westbrook over there. But yeah, for the Pacers to put up that many points too, 140 points or so, I just didn't see that coming. I didn't think they had that much firepower. But I'll tell you, that would be an exciting game. They both can put up points.
I did. Fast. Now, going back to what we were talking about the Lakers and Warriors earlier. Now, covering a little bit about the play-in team. Say for a second, Wizards lose against the Pacers. Wizards would go down, and they would play the winner of Bulls and Raptors. Which, as I said as I said on this show before, there's one guy on the Toronto Raptors, Kyle Lowry, that I don't really trust. Only because they have a great record without him. So let's say for a second, Bulls win. The winner of Wizards and Bulls would go up and play against the 76ers team. Wizards, if the Wizards win, and I'm not saying that this will happen, but I'm going to go off on a hot take. And I think the Wizards are going to put up a fair fight. Because even though the Wizards lack offense, they can score. It really depends on Ben Simmons whether or not if he can put up like 15, 20, 29. He does that sometimes, but not all the time.
Well, remember a year or two ago when everybody said, "Oh, we need to break up the Sixers. Embiid and Simmons can't play together. Simmons and Embiid just don't go well together." Well, they're proving everybody wrong this year. They're playing very strong basketball. And I think that Joel Embiid, for some reason, I feel personally that he's not getting the respect that he deserves because he's putting up a very, very good case for the MVP this year. And we've talked about it before. And a lot of players, a lot of people were thinking LeBron was going to get MVP and best person was going to get MVP, and nobody was really talking about Jokic or Embiid. But Embiid has pretty much put this team on his back, and him and Simmons are finding their way together. And regardless of who comes out in this playoff play-in series and gets the 8 seed, I mean the Sixers are probably the team to beat out of this division. I know that the Nets are right there too, just a few games back, and they have a lot of firepower. They don't have an excellent defensive game, but they have an excellent offensive game. But I think that the Sixers play a little bit better, have a little bit more chemistry defensively, as a team, and definitely work together a little bit better, I think, offensively. But I think that's, when you got a team like the Nets that have 4 All-Stars and 5 All-Star, caliber players, and a lot of them want the shots in the basketball all the time. That's what's going to happen. They're gonna score a lot, but at some point, someone's going to have to give up a few shots, for the team to be successful.
So that's all I had. Really NBA side. Anything else that you? I know we're gonna get in the show a little bit early. But anything else you'd like to add before we give us a close?
I don't really have a whole lot going on, to add on to the NBA. I think that the Celtics and the Hornets, I think in the East are going to maybe hold on to the 7 and 8 seed when it's all done. But I mean, that just means that they get to play the Nets and the Sixers. So that's not going to be an easy challenge. So.
All right. So, all I have is, good luck to the remaining of the season in the NHL side for the Avalanche. See who pulls this one off. Now, I understand that this game is currently going in the second. Avalanche and Golden Knights tied at 1. Good luck to both teams, actually, but especially the Avalanche because they're the team I'm rooting for. So this has been Nate and Greg signing out, and we'll see you next. I will actually see you Thursday. Yeah, Thursday.